Welcome everybody to 2 Pixel Wide! Woo! Woo! So I'm doing something a little different today. I have made it into the beta version of the Final Fantasy XIV Online Realm Reborn thing-a-bob-bob. So what's going to happen here is I have a few restrictions put on me as a beta tester. I am not allowed to take video of the game, and I'm not allowed to take audio from the game, but I am allowed to show off screenshots. So what I've done is I played a little bit, took a bunch of screenshots, and I'm just going to sort of show you the screenshots and maybe just describe a little bit about what's going on there. And probably not even edit this a whole lot, just sort of show it to you as raw as possible. So here we go. This is the screen that you'll see after logging in and everything. So yeah, Realm Reborn, Final Fantasy XIV, blah blah blah, start. So right away you sort of get a feeling of the new style, just the new way everything sort of looks. One thing that'll be very clear right away is that they went to great lengths to change pretty much everything about this game. So alright, so the next screen you'll see is this one here. Of course I've created a character, his name is Zan. So this is the character here that I created. Next weekend I'll be able to actually use my old character from back when I used to play Final Fantasy XIV before they shut it down. But for now you had to create a new character. So I created a new character on whatever that's called. He is a human character, or here. The Final Fantasy names are always really weird. Midlander, blah blah blah. He's a thaumaturge. So I am a, for all intensive purposes, more of like a mage type character. And if you don't know anything about 14, basically, yeah, the thaumaturge is what you need in order to later on become a black mage. So in Final Fantasy XIV, especially later on down the road, you know, just before they shut it down, they added jobs. So there's classes that you start off with, and then later on down the road, after you've leveled up your class, you can then unlock a job that's sort of on top of your class. In Alda, which is where my starting city was before, and it is again now. And one of the cool things they've actually done with this new game is, instead of you choosing your starting location, it is chosen for you based on your class. And the reason they did that is because they want to make sure that I forget the name of it, but basically the central place of your class is in your starting city, because that was actually a thing that would happen before, is if you chose the class and then chose a city and your particular job's or your particular class's place wasn't in your city, then you'd have to go find it and blah blah blah. It was weird. So anyway, that's the character selection thing. So I've already created a character, but I did want to sort of just highlight the new character creation thing. So as you can see here, there's all these different races and sexes, and as you can see, you have 2 sexes for every single race, which is something different, something new. You can choose different backgrounds for them. You can choose different attires for while you're creating the character. You can kind of see what they're going to look like in different poses and backgrounds and stuff, which is kind of interesting. So of course the human character, this is the Elzen character. Again, male, female. Lalafell. Blah blah blah. Whoop, whoop, boom. Mikot. And again, this is something completely different. As you can see, this is a male Makot. This has never been seen before. This is a thing that hasn't existed before, so it's really kind of crazy. That's a dude. You're a dude. Woo! And Rogadian, haha. And yes, they've added female Rogadian to the mix as well there, so. Woo! Interesting. Continuing on. So, back here with my human that I've already sort of created. One thing you can do that I didn't sort of highlight here is once you've created a character, you can save that template just like you could before. That way you can go back to it if you want to create another character. One of the cool things about this new version is you're going to be able to create one character on any different server you want to play on. So you can play on multiple different servers. And the pricing is going to be interesting on it because if I remember correctly, it's going to be like $12 a month if you want to have one character per server, and $15 a month if you want to have up to 8 characters per server. So that basically that allows you to have mules or whatever you would use there. So some different things you can do: height, muscle tone, skin color, so all these different things. It's a lot more customizable than it was before. And again, so some of the things have like little sliders like this, whereas skin color has just a color wheel there. The hairstyles, there's not as many hairstyles as I would have liked. Actually, there's maybe this and another page or something like that. There's very few, and this was really the only one that looked half decent to me, but oh well, maybe they'll add more later. And again, hair color, a full color wheel. There's lots of choices for hair color. What is this? Jaw, so lots of different, so 4 different jaw bones, blah blah blah. Eye color, again, the color wheel. Work, there we go. Lip color, you can even have different lip colors and stuff. Tattoos, you get a limited selection of tattoos, but you can also colorize them the way you want. Face paint is sort of the same way. Again, very limited. These are, I think, the only face painting options that you have right now, but you can color it the way you want. Yeah, just like you see there. You have a lot of different options for voices, and you sort of get the, mad, shouting, happy, so you sort of get a feel for how it's going to sound in all these different sort of emotes. Your character still doesn't talk, but they do sort of emote and have a voice that way. So here we are, we've logged into the game, and I am already in town. As you can see, I am in Alda right now. So what I'm actually using an Xbox 360 controller on the PC version. I do have a beta code for the PlayStation 3. Unfortunately, the code that they sent me didn't work. Apparently, since I live in Canada, the codes that they sent were US only in North America, and they're aware of the problem. They're gonna have it fixed, but probably not for this weekend's beta test, unfortunately. But that's alright, because I wanted to play the PC version anyway, because that's sort of the very nice looking one. So what can we see on here? So this is the hotbar when you have a controller plugged in. It's a completely different hotbar if you're using your keyboard, so keep that in mind. You're going to be seeing the controller throughout all of this. So basically, yeah, you hold in the left trigger, and then this is one of the face buttons, or hold in the right trigger, and this is one of the face buttons. And over here, I don't have anything mapped to these ones right now, but they will be the directional buttons. And again, right trigger, directional buttons. I am a level 4, as you can see down here. So I'm not very far in. I've basically gone through just far enough to sort of get past some of the tutorial stuff. But I haven't really done a whole lot yet. I've actually been very busy this weekend, so I haven't had a chance to really play a whole lot. You have your little mini-map here. It's really small, but kind of useful. And I'll show you why this doesn't actually really matter in the long run anyway. Down here, of course, your chat box, because it is an MMO. Whoop-de-doo. This down here is sort of the new menu thing. Basically, this is just all the little options you get. So your inventory down here, blah blah blah. I'll get into more detail about this later. This part here, these green things, these are actually what you are wearing. The bright green spots are like items I'm currently wearing. Again, I can explain a little better later on down the road, but basically the darkened areas I don't have that slot filled as part of my inventory. And the blue, again, this is regular inventory slots. This is just showing me really quickly how much regular inventory space that I have, which is really actually kind of cool. It took me a long time to figure out what all this meant, but it's strictly just your inventory space. So you can see real quickly how much inventory space that you have, which is really nice because when you're fighting, you automatically collect all your loot. There's no like picking it up off the ground or anything like that. It is all completely automatic. So moving on. I did this sort of shot just to show you how far away from your character you can be. This is the mouse wheel completely scrolled out, so as you can see, you can get a pretty distant view from your character. Yeah, that's really all I have for that one. Another thing I wanted to show actually here, so up here in the corner, of course, you have your local time, 7 o'clock. LT, yeah, so LT means local time, so 7 o'clock local time. This little thing here is, you probably understand what this is. This is your connection, so I have a pretty strong connection there. And a mailbox, I have no idea, but I have no idea. I don't know. So this is me holding down the left trigger. So as you can see, I have a sprint. So everybody gets a sprint option right away. This is just built into the game. It gives you a very short, quick burst running speed that recharges pretty quickly. I really like it. The auto attack button, which I don't really think you need, because once you hit A on a monster twice, you just auto attack anyway, but sure, why not? Your return, so this is an instant warp to the last crystal that you touched, or the return point that you've hit, basically. And teleport. From what I understand, and I'm a little confused about the teleport, I'll have to investigate it more, because it seems like it uses gil, the regular world currency for your teleport between different crystals. So, which is weird, because when I first unlocked the teleport, I was sure it said it used another form of currency outside of gil, but then when I clicked on it, it was like, you don't have enough gil, so it was weird. If I'm getting anything wrong, or if you would like to clarify some of the stuff, if you have a lot more, if you know more about this stuff than I do, leave a comment in the comment section and I'll make sure to do a follow-up video clarifying a few of the things. So this is me holding down the right trigger, so I have a couple of different spells. I have a couple of other screenshots to show you to sort of outline the changes in the spell casting that I've noticed and I thought were really cool. But yeah, right now at level 4 I have Blizzard, Fire, and Transpose, which again I will highlight a little later. So now we're going to, so this is, if you've ever played Final Fantasy XIV before, you will recognize this character right away. In town looks pretty well exactly the same to what the game looked like before, with the updated graphics of course, but the town is basically laid out the exact same way that it was before, so it's a very recognizable city to people that have played Final Fantasy XIV before. But of course with these upgraded graphics and everything, it looks really good. So right here, as you can see, she has a storyline quest, as marked by this little icon here. This is a different icon than you'll see throughout the world with other people that have side quests. So they've made it very easy to notice who has the story quest for you, who has side quests, and there's even a red marker that I don't know if I actually got a picture of, but there's actually a red exclamation marker basically going, there's a job that this person have, but you're not a high enough level for them yet. So it's an interesting way to sort of make you aware that this person does have a quest for you once you hit a certain level. So, one thing I didn't notice until later on was this little thing here. So they've actually made it so you can tell just at a glance if a player character is in a cutscene or is talking to an NPC. So they have this little thing here, just be like, hey, this person is talking to this person, or this person is in a cutscene of some sort and may not respond right away, or something, something, something. Moving on. So yeah, so I have clicked on the person, and this is the, hey, this is, yeah, the quest outline. So right away they show you the rewards you're gonna get, which is nice, and a quick description, and then you hit accept, and then she goes into the in-depth description of what she wants you to do. And this is, of course, the new text box. Like I said again, everything has been changed in some way or fashion. Everything from fonts to text boxes to the layout to everything. And I was really surprised with how much had changed. It's really kind of crazy. And boom, when you accept the quest, this pops up saying, quest accepted. And then you get this little pop-up here with all your current quests. And, you know, it's like, so I have to speak to this person here, blah, blah, blah. Perfect. So now that I am in a quest, again, I have this here saying what I have to do. Now, if I hit the, let me get the button right, the X button on the Xbox 360 controller, I pop up a map. And this is sort of just a basic outline. I have a few different options here depending on which map I want to see and what I want outlined on the map, which is really nice. It's really handy to get to. Again, all you have to do is hit the X button and it pops up right there. Whoop, okay. And if you start walking or what have you, it'll stay there, but it'll become translucent. So you can keep this on while you're walking, and it won't be, you know, in your way or anything. It'll be a little translucent, and it's a lot more useful than this tiny little map here. This is the loading screen between worlds or whatever. So this is me just walking out of town, and I hit central. So they have these crazy looking loading screens, which I thought was interesting. And here we go. One of the biggest changes is when you walk outside of town, you realize that if you played Final Fantasy XIV before, you'll notice right away that outside of Alda is completely different in every possible way. This used to be a much more barren desert area, and it's not. It's now kind of crazy and interesting to look at, which this part really kind of freaked me out a little bit because, again, when you're in town, when you just start, in town is pretty much exactly the same as it was before. Everything's laid out the same. I could get to the thaumaturge's place because I knew where it was. I could get to the bar because I knew where it was. Everything was basically laid out the same. And then when you step out of town, you realize, whoa, everything's crazy different. And I thought that was really weird. But again, before it was kind of a barren desert and not really interesting to look at. Now it's completely interesting to look at, and I really like it. Continuing. So this is me, look at this, I found a level 1 huge hornet to attack, just so I could show you some of the battle stuff here. Again, so it was really hard to take screenshots while in battle because I had my controller in my hand, and on my stupid keyboard I have to hit function F10 in order to take the screenshots using fraps or whatever, and it was really complicated, especially because the mob would disengage, or I would disengage the mob every time I hit the F10, so we'll see how these turned out. But this is me going, hey look, huge hornet. Yeah, this is the new arrow that's sort of, so you hit it once, the arrow pops up. If you hit the A button again, you start auto-attacking. Boom. So I've hit it again, I'm starting to auto-attack. They have this cool little thing here. Again, there's a lot of things on the UI that let you know what's going on in a very interesting and clear way. So this little icon here will start to spin, and this tells you that you are auto-attacking this enemy, which I thought was really cool. So here is me. I'm casting Blizzard right now. So I'm going to try to just... So this is the casting time. It's very quick to cast spells, and I can cast a lot of spells really quickly. There wasn't any sort of cooldown on these particular spells. I'm sure there will be later on, but at least for right now, Blizzard and Fire don't have really any sort of cooldown, so I could just constantly throw out magic. And in the next picture here, you'll see sort of what this means. This is actually a very important thing, and something that I'm still trying to figure out how to use in an effective way, but I'll show you that a little later here. What else can I see on here? So yeah, so basically, if for casting spells, I'll have the enemy highlighted, and then I will, hold right trigger and hit whatever one of these buttons. It's really quick, really fast, really fun is the main thing there. Oop, there we go. Alright, what am I doing now? This is, okay, so this is just me casting the spell. Again, it's hard to really tell what's happening with the effects are really nice, and I can't stress enough how quick and fast it is. Everything is just really quick, and you know, usually as a magic caster, you'd have to, you know, wait for it to cast, and then you'd have to wait for the cooldown, and everything just took a little more time, was a little more laid back. This is a high action battle I'm having with this huge hornet, and it's a little crazy. It's really interesting. Okay, so like I mentioned before, once I cast 1 or 2 blizzard spells, I will have this effect placed on me called Umbral Ice. So basically what happens is it's a balance of mind and spirit is leaning umbrally, whatever that means. Fire aspected spells require less MP, but do less damage. MP regeneration has quickened. And when they say MP regeneration has quickened, it means like this pretty much stays full for the entire time I'm casting spells. And that's when I start casting Blizzard. And so yeah, here we go again. Wait. Okay, so nothing really interesting going on there. I'm, you know, dodging, blah 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 blah. So this is just more of the same, really. Okay, so here's the other spell. So when I start casting fire, I get this ability, which is of mind and spirit, is leaning astrally. Fire aspected spells require more MP, but do more damage. Ice aspected spells require less MP, but do less damage. MP regeneration has stopped. So it becomes a real big balancing act. And again, this is something that I'm still trying to figure out. I'm only level 4, so I'm only just now starting to learn how to use this creatively. But basically, I would cast a bunch of fire spells until my MP kind of drained, and then I'll cast a couple of blizzard spells, which gives me the blizzard one, which has my MP go right back up, and so on and so forth. And I'm sure at the higher levels that becomes a really interesting gameplay mechanic, and something I'm really interested to see how that works later on in the game. But again, this is completely new from what I understand. I did play a bunch of 14 and I don't remember anything like that, so. Cool. Here's me. I have defeated the wasp. I am victorious. And, oh, this is, yeah, okay. I was like, what did I take this picture for? Okay, so transpose is the third ability that I got. And this actually lets me swap Astral Fire for a single Umbral Ice. So if I just cast a bunch of fire spells and I have the Astral Fire thing on me, I can use Transpose to make that, just switch that to Ice without actually having to cast an Ice spell. And it doesn't require any MP either, so it's just a quick swap, which is really nice. So again, if I'm casting a bunch of fire to take out an enemy, I'm doing extra damage using the Astral Fire ability that I get by casting a bunch of fire spells. And when I say a bunch, I mean like 1 or 2, and it'll appear on you. So I'm doing extra damage, but it's cut out my MP regeneration completely. So if once I've defeated the enemy or I've run out of MP, I can use Transpose to switch over to Umbral Ice, which will boost my MP regen. And yeah, again, really interesting, really interesting, I guess is the right word, the only word. So here we go. I was supposed to come out here, so here's the next part of this quest that I started. And again, these people here have this, they are talking to this person, that's why they have this icon on them. Here's me talking to the person, blah 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 blah. And so here's my reward. So yep, I get that. Hit complete. Quest complete. Yay me. And blah blah blah. Oh yeah, this was me finally realizing that this icon existed. So I hit the return. Oh man, my nose is going crazy here. So I hit the left trigger, I hit the return, and it pops up with this saying, hey, do you want to return all duh? Because that's where I touched the thing last. And this is me casting a return. Again, every character has this. It does have a cooldown, but it is something that every character will have, which is kind of nice. And again, just casting the spell. Boom. gone. Whoop. Let's try that again. And this is sort of the big crystal in town here, and a picture of a butt, apparently. I didn't even realize that before. Cool, butts. This is the in-town crystal that the return will take you to. I'm sure you can set where the return will take you. I haven't really figured that out yet, but yeah, boom. And this is me running back outside of town because I wanted to sort of show you Camp Blackbrush. If you played Final Fantasy XIV, you will know Camp Blackbrush real well. Of course, and also, as you can see here, I've hit the run, so this is me in a run. I have 8 seconds left on that run, as you can see here. Boom. So, you'll see off in the distance this huge friggin' crystal. That's really interesting, alright? But on the way there, I saw this giant friggin' tortoise at level 17. I don't think I should attack that, because it will probably murder my face, but it's really cool to look at. It's a big turtle. And oh, this ant-laying worker didn't actually attack me. So I don't know if they attack people. I'm not sure. But it didn't attack me. So I attacked it, basically. So again, you know, I'm casting fire, blah blah blah. Casting more spells. Just pounding on it. And so I beat the thing. Spoiler alert. So here I am at Blackbrush Station. As you can see, the crystals are massive in this new version of the game. So it's huge here. That's really all I wanted to show you there. Also the fact that Blackbrush Station is completely different. Again, the outside world seems to be the most different in this game. Nice fancy picture of how huge this crystal is in my awesome looking character. Chocobos! I tried to ride a chocobo, but I have to be at least level 10 in order to ride one. I was really kind of sad, but they look kind of cool. Woo! So, there's me again. I don't think I took this picture for any other reason than, hey, it looks cool, just to sort of show you what it looks like. Boom. Okay, so this is me actually wandering to something a little special. As you can see here, there's a little circle with a thing on the map. That is a fate. A fate is a... how do I describe it? Okay, you are below the recommended level for this fate, your contribution. This is something that you can just walk to. If you've played Defiance, it's sort of like one of their arc falls. It's a very similar thing, where once you walk into here, you will join the fate automatically. You don't have to do anything, you are just a part of it if you walk into the vicinity. And then you just kill all the monsters. And as you can see here, there is a time limit. Right now I walked into this one and there was 13 minutes and 31 seconds left on it. They recommend level 6, and I was only level 4, so I was a couple levels below. So again, I won't get the experience or whatever the thing was as much as I would if I was the right level. But you just have to beat all these shell sweepers, and they will constantly sort of spawn in until you've beaten the right amount, I guess, or something. I guess until you fill this bar, maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but I think so. Oh, and I brought the map up here to sort of show you anywhere, as long as I walk anywhere into this blue circle, I am a part of the fate. So here's me going, oh no, I'm only level 4, but these things are only level 5, so maybe I can actually do something. So I felt useful. So here's me being useful. And attacking stuff. And I almost died, or I thought I almost died. I actually didn't do so bad, and we beat all the things. It didn't take us nearly the 13 minutes or anything like that. Fate completed. I get rewards, which here's the tutorial thing, sort of showing me the fate rewards that I get, and blah 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 blah. I didn't actually read that, but whatever. And there's sort of a shot of the town from where I am here. Again, these ants didn't really attack me. I don't know. They don't seem to really care about people. Another shot of me getting closer to town. There is just a cool person. I just wanted to highlight them because their name was No, and I thought that was really cool. Plus, she had an eye patch, so that was really probably the coolest person on Final Fantasy XIV right now. So there you go. I wanted to see if I could do a guild leave. If you played Final Fantasy XIV before, you know what guild leaves are. I have no idea if they've changed or not in this version of the game because I can't access them yet. Because I'm only level 4. So, boo. And there's my character. Yay me! So I just wanted to go through some of the menu stuff here. So this is the new armory chest. Whenever you pick up a piece of equipment, like hats or swords or, you know, equipment, it goes into your armory chest, which is separate from your standard items box. Your armory chest does not take up space in your inventory, as you can see here. Like, this is your inventory slots, this is your armory chest. And you can sort of, and it automatically gets slotted into where it needs to be. So this is just what I have. Here is my character sheet. As you can see, they made it a lot more D&D kind of ish. All my attributes are here, my offensive properties, blah blah blah. As you can see, they're straight up just doing levels. So I'm a level 4 Thermaturge. And I have some gear on me. In the release version, this is going to show you a silhouette of my own character, but it's not doing that right now. Whatever. My hit points, my blah blah blah. Profiles and classes and stuff is, you know, whatever. So this is the classes. Again, I'm only level 4 Thermaturge, but this will fill up once you change jobs by changing weapons like you did before. That's how you change jobs. It's real simple, so I can start doing that whenever I want. This is my standard inventory. Again, it's separate from my armory, so this is all the stuff I've collected throughout my travels so far. I don't know what the timers are, but it had nothing to display. And I even tried to use one of my abilities to see if that would pop something up, and it didn't. Thermaturge, so this is my actions and traits, so just my general actions. These are just the ones that anybody can use, so blah 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 blah. These are the actions for my Thermaturge, so all my spells and stuff will come here. Again, I only have the 3 right now. The traits are the stuff, what do you call them? These are just like, you know, more intelligence points added on when I hit level 8, etc. And I think these are the job stuff, if I remember correctly, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I have this all blanked out because I don't have any jobs because I'm such a low level, and I don't unlock them for a while yet. And goodbye. That's me waving goodbye, and I think that's the end of it. That is the very last screenshot. Thank you for coming to 2 Pixel Wide. I hope this was informative. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Once I am able to do video, of course, I will probably do live streams and all that stuff, but that probably won't be until either beta phase 4 if they lift that restriction, or when the game finally just comes out. Thanks for coming to 2 Pixel Wide as always. Peace out, have a good one, bye guys! Woo!